Hey guys, Pablo here, and I'm back here with another amazing project for you guys in this amazing video that is called Creed Dao. We're going to discuss the whole thing, what Creed Dao is, what it stands for, what difference is it creating or it will create in the whole crypto community, what their idea is, why their idea is strong, and all those things that will be covered in this video. So make sure that you watch till the end. And do note that anything I say is not going to be an investment or a financial advice. It'll be completely up to you to invest in any project that you want to. And with this out of the way, let's move straight to the project. Now we're here at the official website of Creed Dao. Before we get into the actual project and the specifics and the details of it, we need to lay the ground, the background, so that we can have a better understanding on why this project exists and why we're currently talking about this. So in this video that you have right in front of you, if you open up the official page, their official website, this presents us with the background, the past of the financing and the current financing, how it is being done, the problem that exists in there, and it shows us how the cryptocurrencies offered us better solutions than those. Mostly it emphasizes on freedom, that we have freedom in financing in cryptocurrencies, but we do not have that in the traditional financing. One of the biggest example is we know about the whole process of minting, right? If we mint new tokens, if we generate new tokens, there are more tokens in circulation, and if there are more circulation in, like, if their circulation is increasing, the supply is increasing, then their value is going to reduce. So minting new tokens while the people are unaware, especially the investors, is an unethical thing. It's an unwise thing to do. It should be forbidden in a sense, because essentially you're minting new tokens, you are in control of those, but you're essentially reducing the value. Not just like you're having more and more tokens for yourself. I mean, who knows what that project is using those new minted tokens for, but they're minting new tokens that may not be going to the investors, and it's reducing the overall value of the tokens. So this is something that is considered unwise to do in the cryptocurrencies, although this does happen and those projects are considered as scams. This is happening in traditional financing. Our governments are doing this thing while we're unaware, but that is not considered as something unwise because they're the one in control. The governments, they cannot mint new tokens, but they're printing more and more bills, which is equally equivalent to printing fake bills, because they're printing more and more bills that they're in control of, and they're reducing the value of the currency, and they just keep on doing that. They're doing that because they have control, and it doesn't matter how much money you have, how many dollars you're holding or you have in your bank, whose price is reducing because they are printing new bills, but you don't have any control. It's your money, but you don't have any control. So that is not freedom. I mean, we all can agree that this is not freedom. But this is something different in cryptocurrencies, especially if we talk about DAO, especially if we talk about Creed Dao. The things that changed is here, people who have most of the tokens or who have more tokens that they're holding, they have right to vote on what happens next, on different decisions that should be taken, or if they have a treasury, if they have this whole DAO, then where should they invest in, where they should perform the buyback, in which project they can propose new project, they can reject projects. And in this one, the more you're holding, the more power your votes have, which is not something that we should argue about, because the people who are holding most of the tokens or more tokens, if anything goes wrong, they're the one impacted the most by it. So if they're the one impacted the most by it, they should be the one to have more rights to vote. So that's something that is not something people argue about, so we don't have to argue about it here. So this is what happens in this one. In Creed Dao, well, the word of the project itself tells us that it is a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, in which we have three categories that is based on the number of holdings, the percentage of the amount that they're holding. So we have Immortals, we have Kings, and we have Seekers. And we're going to talk about each category, the requisites of each category, and what rights do they have, what powers do they have. So that's what we're going to discuss. It says the Creed Dao motives is the uprising of decentralized finance governed by the Immortals, Kings, and Seekers, empowering the cult and creed against institutions that preach liberation but practice capitalist enslavement. This is something that we just generally talked about. So right here, they are talking about the whole ecosystem on what happens. This one is the tokenomics. So one person of every single transaction goes to the liquidity pool so that they don't have to rely on the liquidity providers to generate liquidity. They are doing that like automatically on every single transaction. So trading fees will go straight to liquidity, ensuring increased collateral value. Of course, it makes it an increasing and a solid price floor for the Creed token. 2% for awareness and partnership. Trading fees are used to grow the size of our Creed through marketing partnerships. United we stand, divided we fall. So this 2% is used for marketing to spread the word about this project. And 2% for the treasury. Trading fees is deposited to the treasury, which will be used to invest in voted partner projects and to buy back Creed. So this is something that we're going to talk about like in detail. Now let's move forward toward the presentation, which presents us with the most information. So we have three categories. We have the Immortals, we have the Kings, and we have the Seekers. All of these are holders of the Creed token, but the amount varies. So the Immortals, these are basically the top 50 holders. There is no exact amount that you should hold to become an immortal. It depends on who are the top 50 holders. The powers that they have is, well, they have the proposal rights and they have the voting rights. 25% buyback from the treasury wallet will be distributed amongst the immortals based on the percentage that they are holding. So they can propose projects that in the treasury should, invest in to perform buyback in that token and then distribute it. And they can also vote if anyone else has already proposed a project. They can vote on whether they should be taken or not project, but any other decision that is, or any other proposal that is placed. And another benefit that they get a bigger portion of the when they perform the buyback from the treasury in the proposed project, and when they do that for the Creed token, they get a bigger distribution back, so they're rewarded more. After Immortals, there's the Kings. So if you hold 5 million or more Creed, they're saying that might adjust according to the launching market cap, you are considered as the king. It says the crown bearers and rulers who have the hunger to bring forth the greatest to the Creed. They have the power to proposal rights and voting rights. It says 50% buyback from the treasury wallet will be distributed amongst kings based on percentage holding. Now you may be thinking that 50%, that is more than 25%, but I mean, there's 50 immortals and you don't know how many kings that there will be, but obviously more than 50, like a lot more than this amount. So in that case, because it is distributed between them based on their percentage, so in that sense, I mean, I think you can understand. And then comes the Seekers. So if you hold 2 million or more Creed, again, it might adjust according to the launching market cap. The power that they have is voting rights, and the percentage that they get is 25. Again, that is based on the percentage that they're holding. So I mean, it can be between 2 to 5 million. So we're uncertain on who's holding the more percentage of tokens will be receiving a bigger portion of this. And so basically, this is how it works. This is the voting mechanism for the ecosystem. It says voting of the proposal only passes if these conditions are met. More than 25% of immortals, kings, and seekers vote. More than 50% of the votes are in favor of the proposal. So it should be more than 50, and that's how it is passed. And there are some criteria that even if the Immortals and the Kings are proposing a project, it's not like they can propose any project. They still have the criteria that they should be the project that they're proposing. The team should be doxed, and at least one member of the project team is doxed, and it has been KYC'd. It should be audited, and they have a substantial liquidity in the project. And proposal form will require, okay, so these I really need to get into details of these right here. And this is the transaction unbiased 5% and also on the sell. So we already have talked about this one. This is the treasury wallet in which this whole DAO mechanism is applied. So because this treasury wallet is used to buy back the tokens of the proposed project, and then that is distributed. And it says on the top here that I missed apparently, when a proposal is voted and accepted by the investors, part of the treasury wallet will be used to buy back the voted project tokens and distribute it amongst the Immortals, Kings, and Seekers. And 20% of the proposed funds will be used to buy and burn Creed. So this is a portion that is applied on any project that is proposed and accepted. And now this comes here. We already have talked about the whole mechanism on Immortals and Kings who can propose a project because they have the right to propose a project. And then we have Immortals, Kings, and Seekers, like these three categories. They vote. And in order for the vote to be successful, more than 25% of the Immortals, Kings, and Warriors should vote. So there should be more than 25% of them that voted. And in those votes, 50% should be in favor of the proposal, and then it is accepted. But if less than 25% of these Immortals, Kings, and Seekers, Warriors, they voted, then it's not going to be accepted. And even if there is more than 25% that voted and they voted against this, so there's less than 50% votes in the favor of the project, then it is rejected. So in case it is successful, the vote is successful, 80% funds from the treasury wallet will be bought in the proposed project and distributed amongst Immortals, Kings, and Seekers. We already have seen the distribution on how that happens. And 20% funds from the treasury wallet will be used to buy back Creed and burn. So 80% is used to buy back that particular token of the project, and it is distributed in the between Immortals, Kings, and Seekers, depending on the percentage of each category, and then who's holding what percentage. And apart from that 80%, 20% funds from the treasury wallet are used to buy back and burn the Creed token. And basically this is how this whole thing works. There's a whole FAQ that you can read which have complete information of all these things in details, but I think we have gathered the most essential one. In the chosen one, we can see these are the rebellions of Seekers, Kings, and Immortals, and it talks about the whole criteria and all those things that we already have discussed. So you have them in one place, and this is where you can check the live price, the market cap, the treasury pool, and all those things. And then there's the House of Creed. This is where you can see all the proposals, and this is how basically it looks like. So this is currently the one that is pending. All the previous one that are accepted, and they were probably kind of like a test. This one is pending, so 17% has rejected, 83% approval. So if more than 25% of Immortals, Kings, and Warriors have voted yes in this case, then it'll be accepted. And there's the place where you can, they can submit proposal. You can do that. You can do that if you are a Immortal or if you are a King. And basically this is how it works. Then comes the manifesto, which takes us to the presentation that we already have taken a look at. Then comes the place where you can buy the Creed token, and you can do that on the Pancake swap. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on understand. They're going to import. They're going to connect your wallet in which you have BNB, and that is on the Binance Smart Chain, that has the Binance Smart Chain network added to it, because you're going to use the BNB token. You're going to swap that to get Creed, and this is how you can buy this. It's a pretty simple, straightforward method to buy it. And they have been audited by Solid Proof, so you can take a look at they actually have placed the GitHub, so you have complete information of the audit there. So that's actually good that they have performed the audit, which makes this more credible. But that's like the most information that we should require, and the things that we should be focusing on is that this is a kind of project in which people are in control, and those people who have the most holdings, who are the biggest investors, who have more on stake, and who will be impacted the most by any changes that happens, they're the one that control this whole thing. And since it's up to anyone to, it depends on anyone if how much they want to buy and how much they want to hold. So it's basically up to people on how much they want to control. So in this case, if you are holding more token, you are confident that you are one that is in control. And I think that's the whole point of freedom in financing. So basically, yeah, that's all I have for you guys in this amazing project. I'm going to give you guys all the links that will be in the description, so make sure that you check it from there. Still, if you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments, and I'll provide you guys with their Telegram, their other social media links, so you can contact them there and you can ask them questions there, which is a much preferred option because they have a better understanding of their project than I do. So make sure that you do that, and I'll see you guys in the next video shortly. So stay tuned. Disclaimer: trading digital assets involve significant risk and can result in the loss of your invested capital. You should ensure that you fully understand the risk involved and take into consideration your level of experience, investment objectives, and seek independent financial advice if necessary. It is up to you whether to invest or not.